Okay, let's just completely forget the fact that the R5 is more of a photo camera and that the C70 is a video camera. I'm just going to be focusing on video specs for each individual camera and what drew me to get away from the R5 as far as my main video camera and move on to the C70 as my main video camera. With that being said, let's roll the intro. How's it going, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rob Novella and I make videos about photography, filmmaking, travel, and well, whatever else I feel like making. So in today's video, like I previously said, we're going to be comparing and just I'm going to be sharing my reasoning to get rid of the R5 for my video projects, although not get rid of, I'm keeping it for photo, but stop using the R5 for my video projects and start using the C70 because there are some major differences, and especially after having it for about a month, I've noticed it and it's actually made my stuff better. So with that being said, I noticed that there's a smudge on the lens. Clean it. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Quick comparison of specs. The R5 can do 8K up to 30 frames per second, although the 8K is pretty much unusable. So really it's 4K 120 with an asterisk. Reason being, it overheats at 4K 120, so kind of sucks. The quality is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the way that the footage looks and the fact that it's full frame when I shoot full frame with a really wide angle lens. I love wide angle. I think it's probably my favorite focal length at 16, maybe 20 millimeters. So I really do enjoy wide angle. So being able to do it in full frame, really nice. But with that being said, the overheating kind of sucks. So now the R5 has one CF Express and one SD card, while the C70 has two SD card slots, no CF Express. Why is that important? Well, I like to travel, I like to go to other countries, and sometimes, depending on where you're at, finding CF Express cards can prove to be difficult, even in a place like Iceland, where it's a very popular spot for photography and videography. And you kind of assimilate Iceland with like higher end things and more expensive everything. Well, it was not easy to find CF Express. I actually didn't even find a CF Express card. Not that I was looking extremely hard, but whenever I saw electronics or anything like that, it was always SD card. So that's already a big deal. And finding readers, if you cannot even find the actual memory card, finding a reader if something breaks when you're traveling, already a big no-no. Number two, up until recently, the R5 could not record redundant video. I believe with the new update you can. I have not tried it myself, but I believe with the new update you can. However, the C70, you can record redundant to both SD cards. You can also record proxies to the second card and just your regular footage to the main card. The reason why that's important is because when you're going back and editing your footage, if your computer is not super well built, your footage will struggle, especially in Premiere. I've had a lot of issues editing R5 footage in Premiere Pro even after creating proxies. So the footage from this camera is extremely heavy. It's extremely difficult to edit because it's just a lot of data that it's pushing through. It does record 8K RAW, but like I previously said, it's useless. You can't really do more than 10-15 minutes, and even then when you bring it into your recording suite, it's a nightmare to work with. The C70, you would have assumed that it did do RAW, but it does not. It does not shoot RAW footage, which is perfectly fine with what I do. I don't need all that data. I don't need to be editing all that kind of stuff. But what it does is that it does 4K really well. It does 4K 120, so I still get my slow motion, although the 4K 120 does not have the face detect autofocus, so it doesn't track the way that maybe 4K 60 would. And if you want to do audio, you have to, you're able to do audio with 4K 120, but you have to activate it. It's kind of an extra step. Normally when I do 4K 120, I don't do audio because usually when I shoot 4K 120 in my head, I'm just gonna do sound design underneath, so I don't personally need it. But if you're somebody that needs 4K 120 with audio, you can do it. Just takes an extra couple of buttons, and I'm pretty sure you can just set custom menus. The R5 cannot do audio at all on 4K 120. Bit of a bummer, but to me, it's not that big of a difference. Moving on, audio. Now, obviously, the R5 is going to be inferior when it comes to audio and controlling the audio because it's more of a photo camera. It's not a video camera. The C70 has two XLR inputs, a regular 3.5 millimeter input, so you can literally record to 3 or 4 different channels simultaneously. So you can have your scratch track, you can have your main track, and if you have any issues, you can do multiple mics to the one camera, and it's great. It really is great because you can just really dial down the levels. On the R5 you cannot do that, so a bit of a downfall, but in reality, is once again, it's a photo camera, it's not a video camera, it's not video centric. Now the C70 can take photos, pretty much just JPEGs, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to set up, so pretty much useless. I wouldn't even use them for my thumbnails. I will continue to shoot my photos for my thumbnails with this camera because, let's be honest, fucking rad. And yeah, the last thing is the record time limit. The R5 has only a 29-minute and 59-second record limit, and the C70, it has a limitless. So as long as you have room in your card, you can literally record forever, and you don't have the worries of overheating because it has built-in fans, so it'll cool itself down as it starts to heat up, so you can literally record for as long as you have space in your memory cards. Furthermore, if you are recording to multiple cards, you can either do relay, so once one card is done, it'll start on the next one, and you can basically double the length of the video, or you can just do back to basically redundant recording, so you can pretty much protect yourself and have a backup on the spot, or you can do your proxies. You can do a lot of different things with the recording media, and the fact that you can record for forever. You can literally get 1 terabyte SD cards and record for days. Not really, but the file sizes are much smaller than the R5, which is nice. So yeah, that's kind of it. Other than that, it was just an excuse to buy more gear, which I love trying new gear and experimenting and learning and just kind of getting used to different things for different projects. And the fact that if you show up to a shoot with something like this, it looks way more professional and way more higher end than if you show up with this. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just all perception based on what your client is feeling that they're getting out. You can record incredible things with cameras much more affordable than these. Unless you know exactly what you're looking at, you can get great footage and you can get great videos and great photos from more affordable cameras. But when you go to a client shoot and they see the bigger, cumbersome, they almost feel like they're getting their money's worth. It's silly, but it's a reality of the current state of our world. So yeah, that's it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. Okay, let's talk about this setup. Does it look different? I'm actually shooting on another camera that I recently picked up. Yeah, I bought a it's a Blackmagic Cinema 4K. I bought the 4K. I'm a huge believer in backups, and I wanted something to back up the C70 for some upcoming weddings. And like I said before, I don't know if I can trust the R5 for longer periods of time. So basically I'll be flying this on a gimbal just because it's easy to set up and load up. I can put the 15 to 35 and move on, and then I'll set up the Blackmagic for the ceremony while I handheld the C70 and do all the B-roll with the C70. So there's a lot I can do now, and I'm very excited and obviously very grateful that I can do it. But yeah, once again, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't even know if it's in focus. I hope it is. I think if I'm here, it's in focus. I think if I move slightly close, I don't know. There's no autofocus, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to work with. So, but that's it. I'm gonna go dump this footage and see what it looks like. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.